action continues from Subiaco Oval now. More from round 15. The West Coast Eagles up against Port Power. The West Coast Eagles on a slide, of course, and Port pressing for a place in the finals. The news from Subi is that it's wet. Very wet. A lot of rain today. At the present time, all but stopped, but the forecast is for more. Guy McKenna's taken his place in the team today, going across to toss the coin. The breeze going down the ground, right to left. It's off the ocean. It's a westerly. Wait for the toss. Now, who won that? They're happy anyway. McKenna marginally ahead of Wanganeen. Heads were bobbing, couldn't pick it. He's gone towards the western end of the ground, and down on the boundary, Adrian Barrage and Matty Campbell this afternoon. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Dennis. Yes, trying to stay dry. It's still quite heavy here. I think the ball will get quite slippery from the Eagles' room. Well, they're out for revenge. Last week, another South Australian side belted them, so they want to fix up this one. They want to get back in the 8 too. Can you believe it? The Eagles aren't in the 8. The only other interesting aspect was Peter Sumich has been playing centre-half back for South Fremantle for 2 months. Today looks like he'll line up in the forward line, so I don't know how he's going to go there. If he's a bit scratchy early, you know why. Matty, you were saying that the Port have never played in the rain.
Yes, in the form guide, there is no W next to Port Adelaide. They've never had to play in the wet, so they're untried. But when you look at some of the skilled players like Wanganeen and Bond and Wilson or whatever, I think it'll suit them. And I'm tipping them to beat the Eagles today and to get on that road to the finals, Barra.
And of course, I'm going for the Eagles, boys.
Well, they've got the name to play in the wet. Port Power up against the West Coast Eagles. You look back to March, of course, you would have seen this on the fixtures and thought, ho-hum. But now, very important to both these clubs as we say good afternoon to Gerard Healy and Terry Wheeler.
Good afternoon, Dennis. I'm definitely looking forward to this. The fighting qualities, recent fighting qualities of Port Power have been very good against Western Bulldogs in Melbourne and then Hawthorn last week. There's something in that for me.
Gerard, who do you like?
Well, I think if it wasn't for the home ground advantage, you'd be going with Port Adelaide, but the home ground advantage makes it a very much an even ball game. But I think if whichever side dominates out of the middle will end up winning this game.
Umpire throws it up. We're underway. Heaver on the burst down towards half forward for the Power. Awkward bounce, left them all lamenting. Loose ball across half forward. Lockwood dives in. Plenty of company and a whistle. Umpires this afternoon, Dorr, McLaren and Cercia. This bounce or throw up more correctly. Although the surface is very good. At centre half forward for the Power. Wide of the pack, Franco taken high. Well played there by Gehrig. He's away, but we've got a whistle and the ball to come back. It's a free kick going to the West Coast Eagles. Heady will get it. One of the few shining lights last week against Adelaide. 3 or 4 goals. Gehrig back to Heady, in trouble, lost it. Comes back towards Heady once more. Surrounded. Wanganeen digs it out. Rombotis. Wanganeen will get the free. Advantage is paid. Is it advantage? Not sure it is. Well, the umpire lets them go. The kick wanders out towards half forward. James was up very high. Knocked it goalward. This is Franco. Franco 35 metres out and closing. It looks pretty good. He's got it.
Just to start that, the Port Power were after. What a great get out of the middle they had, and they've got a very talented squad of players in there. A very hard-working midfield. You see there, just finding some space. Coming back into play was John Rombotis. We haven't seen much of him, so we've got Rombotis and Heaver back into the side for the Port Power today. And a great running goal by Josh Francoeur.
So Port Power with the opening goal in wet, slippery conditions. Quickly out, McKenna fumbles across half-back, uncharacteristic for him. Plenty of pressure inside. Bourne's handball didn't find Kemp. Through come Power again. Surging through, pushes on out wide into the space. Towards the line. James there, quite happy to see the ball go over the line and out. Roger James, one of the debutants this year for Port Power. And the conditions here, rain persisting, and certainly has right through the morning. But Aziz just now, Port Power making better of the start here in this game. Wilson on the left foot, reaches just inside 50 to the defence of Waterman getting back. ready to turn it back again for the Eagles.
Third game of the season for Chris Waterman. Goes in short. Bring it away. This is Wooden running away from half back. A particularly good kick up towards half forward. Awkward one for Heady. Bond was in there. Kemp to Evans. Dragged down. Brilliantly done by Bond. Going after the ball is Braun. Gets it across to Turnbull. Turnbull goes off a step inside the 50. On a collision course down there. Sumich and Gehrig picked up by Huskis. Swings it out wide towards the outer side. Trying to trap it. Franco. A little too delicate. Banfield coming through. Could have been held without it. Heaver goes off the deck. Gains about 25 metres. Ron Bottas has it now. Goes back to Heaver. Heaver pops it inside the 50. Eagleton. He's marked right on the 50.
And a great start by Adam Huskis, who's already picked up 3 kicks. He's playing on Dean Kemp, one of the playmakers for the Eagles. But they're not being able to penetrate that half-forward line. And with Fraser Gehrig and, of course, Peter Sumich, both leading players, similar types, coming out of full forward, we're going to see a couple of more clashes as we just saw.
Eagleton from 55. Pulls it to the right. It's a behind. He should feel at home at Subi. And the margin is 7 points. They're kicking with the breeze. Port Power. McIntosh wasting no time. McKenna in the pocket. Hard against the line. Pops it over the top. Morrison under the pump. Gave it away. Eagleton from just outside 50. Very high kick. Wilson camped underneath it. Off hands down behind. Got a whistle from Bottas. Tackled by Waterman. And the throw up about 30 metres out.
Nathan Eagleton in the play early. Behind there. McKenna again from defence. A long kick out of the area. Right to the centre of the ground. The bouncing ball giving the Eagles a chance to run onto it. Heady flicks it on back out towards Kemp. He in turn back towards Turnbull. Misses it. Wooden. Good on towards Blurton. In towards Sumich in the front position. Bustled. Hustled. Held in the end. Play on, says the umpire. No, the free kick to Peter Sumich.
How's that roar?
Welcome back, Peter Sumich. Adrian Barrett, prior to the game, telling us that he'd been spending time in the local competition in defence. The Eagles really looking for some goal-scoring power. 495 career goals to Peter Sumich. 5 short of a milestone. 14 to date this year. Very deliberate. He'll kick from 40 metres out, virtually directly in front. The left foot, the crowd like it. The roar's up, it's home.
The Sumich is on the board, so were the West Coast Eagles yesterday at Victoria Park. Big Sam got an early free, helped his game. What happened here today? Lyle. Port Power inside the 50. Morrison, that's a terrific grab. Greasy conditions, running back with the flight of the ball. Lousy hand pass. Comes across to Jakovic. He breaks away. Nothing onto this side of the ground. Some indecision. Goes short. Schofield has it now. Schofield at half back. Decides to run it out. Towards the centre of Subiaco Oval. Heady, who's been lively, left it behind that time. Bond on his knees. A lot of indecision. Heady leaps on top of it. And a whistle. Bond had plenty of time. Had 34 games for the West Coast Eagles. His 31st was the 94 Premiership match, the grand final. Grigich away to Schofield, dragged off it. Lurton goes in. Socket forward, down towards half forward by James. Waterman, Simmons, under pressure. High floating kick towards the outer side. Heaver's got it, he can run. Kicks towards the 50, Lade's in front, almost, still Lade. Hand passes back to support. Lockwood across the boundary line. And a throw in as we go down to the boundary and Barra.
Dan, it's just 2 interesting aspects to that Peter Sumich goal. One, has given him a lot of confidence at ground level. You can see he's pumped up, but it also lifted the team because he's a favourite son down here, and the boys are really getting into it for Summer.
So it's a goal apiece, but here comes Heaver for the Port Power. From 30 metres out on the run, misses to the near side.
So Brent Hoover's going up against Jared Schofield in the middle. 2 players that can be damaging if they get the football. And And young Braun has got another pretty tough job for a inexperienced player picking up Braden Lyle, who's been one of the midfielders of the competition.
So McIntosh and Wooden now combined with Blurt. Away he goes, has room on his right side. The kick's not a good one. It's in towards Port Power territory, but Kemp comes in to lend assistance, looking just to keep the ball moving. Turn back again. Lyle under pressure, handball out wide. Again, kicks on, favours the Power. Lever just slipping off there, getting space on his own.
I thought Dean Kemp may well have been better advised just to hoof the ball off the ground there.
Short in now to Rogers. Roger James, beg your pardon. From outside 50, looking for the Power's second goal. It's a long one. It's going right towards the square. The contest is there. Cummings' fist just forces it over for the one behind. Power 1 goal, 3-9. West Coast the 1 goal.
Port getting plenty of the ball. Here's McIntosh. Eagles under pressure. Blurton into space. Across half back. Blurton wants to go. Schofield looks downfield. Kicks towards the centre square. Turnbull offhands Kemp. Lively. Gets it across to Evans. Heady again in his path. He's running down towards the 50. Heady. Well tackled from behind by Bond. Well played by Heady to Gehrig. He's got the pace. He pulls away. And he's missed. They did the hard stuff. Heady a bit lucky. The man coming up who peeled off the other forward slipped over. Otherwise, he could have been the meat in the sandwich. He kept his head.
Nicholas Stone has come on for Blurt, but it was an exciting passage of play with some pretty quick players going full tilt.
James, metres in the clear, up towards the wing. Lyle, oh, well played by Braun. Lyle again. Braun kept his feet. That surprised Lyle. And Lyle, as a result, caught holding the ball. Kemp plays on. Heady again, slipping around that forward line brilliantly, deep in the pocket. Can he conjure something? He pulls it back. Inspirational. Magnificent goal.
Yes, and this game has certainly started at a fierce pace. It's got the hallmarks of a great game in the making, because some pretty exciting players like Brett Heady really do appear to have got their mind right on the job early in the match. Port Power could have kicked a couple of other goals earlier, but the Eagles have replied quickly.
Brett Heady returning to goal-scoring form. He's kicked 3 goals twice during the last month and has just curled a magnificent goal in from the boundary to put his side in front by 4 points. Power had the early running. The Eagles seemingly settling now. Grujic, Primus pushes it down. Favours Rombotis, has a second go at it. Eyes up, looking for something. Gives it to Primus. His kick towards half forward. Schofield paddling it to himself. Turn back away again, but only as far as Rombotis. Back in, forward. Cummings is offline for this one. McIntosh controlling it. The flick favours Eagleton, though. He curls it back around, but not far enough. Eagleton, the live wire at half forward. Can't convert, came into the game kicking 5 goals, 16 behinds, and already has 2 behinds added to that tally.
And he is playing on Guy McKenna, so perhaps Mick Moldhouse will be asking McKenna just to clamp down a little bit. But Johnny Rombotis is the one player doing a lot of damage in the middle of the ground.
We're watching the Eagles bring it out of defence at the moment. Less than convincing. Eventually Waterman up towards the wing. Lyle stood his ground brilliantly. Braden Lyle, another former West Coast Eagle, pops it to the middle. There's Primus. He's about 55 metres out. Matthew Primus started the season so well, getting back into that sort of form recently. Telling kick, turns the defence around, fisted away down there by Jakovic. Robbing the pack, Waterman slips the hand pass away to Morrison. Morrison to Schofield. Schofield from half-back, up towards the wing. Evans, almost the mark in front. Timely fist in there from Fabian Francis. He's in trouble. Falling to the ground, gets the hand pass away to Mead. Mead on the wing, well shepherded there by James. Gave it away, though. Griggich on the chest. Gets the hand pass away. Going for the spiral. The second of the afternoon, McKenna. Gehrig almost. Close to the boundary line. Here's Heady again. Feeds it back to Evans. Kept it in. Evans confronted. Ball jarred out. Heady's got problems. In goes Francis. Ball slips away. Bond on his knees. Knocked down there. Back into the pack. Whistle. And we'll have a ball up. Stephen Daniels, number 28. Not listed, at least in the list we received. Involved there as well. Primus, he was around the pack, Daniels. Schofield gets the shepherd from Kemp. Boots it back inside the 50. Bond knocks it down. The bodies go in willingly. Sumich a good tackle. Bond went to ground. Got it to Wanganeen though. Wanganeen to Paxman. Kicks out wide. Simmons on his chest. Made to earn it. Franco bearing down. This is a good game of footy so far.
Simmons from the outer side has the short option. Drops it in perfectly. Waterman, the left foot, goes long. Heady at the back. Spoiled there by Bond. Over for the behind. So the pressure now being applied to the Port Adelaide defence. The Eagles now preparing to run from half-back. McKenna running and driving long. Kick out from Bottas. Miles by himself. Appeals for the catch. The umpire says no. Comes around now. Tosses it back out towards Heaver. Steps back inside. Pace. Kicks well to centre half forward. Players running back onto the contest. McKenna underneath it. McIntosh feeds on out wide. Lux of fortune. Morrison's away. Out towards the spaces. Heady's leading the race with the ball. Bond right beside him. Heady in fine form early in the game. Back towards Kemp. He'll run on. He has run on. No. He ran on, Jared. No doubt about that at all. He's given the benefit of the doubt. Kemp to Gehrig. Couldn't complete it. The big fella's up again. The soccer player goes with it. Towards the near side, the one behind to Ilya Gehrig.
Well, a frenetic start to this game, but one of the more interesting structural moves is that Brendan Lade is playing in the forward pocket, and he's dragged Glenn Jakovic away from his preferred centre-half back, and currently he's deep in defence.
Paxman looking for Mead, almost a push in the back on Mead. Kemp likewise. Turnbull in trouble. Kemp, good evasion. Hand passes towards half forward. Coming up to meet at Evans, full-bloodedly as always. Francis is over the ball. Interesting. Penalised for a throw. Where's Heady? He's up ahead. Interesting matchup, that one. Sometimes players fancy their chances on blokes they know. He's on Shane Bond. But the converse could be true. There's Banfield to Sumich on the lead. And Sumich finds himself about 40 metres out, almost directly in front.
And it doesn't get any better than this from Drew Banfield. An absolutely brilliant pass and a good take. And Bond just perhaps needed to have a little bit more awareness there to just leave his own man in Heady, because he was the only chance that Port Adelaide had of cutting off that lead.
He last played in round 6. He did kick 7 goals against Hawthorn in round 4. Going at his second right here. The fairy tale start.
Just on 7 minutes of play left in the first quarter. Peter Sumich has 2 for the Eagles. Heady the other. They lead 3-1. Port Power now really under pressure.
Right at the moment, though, Terry, you'd say that it's pretty even through the middle of the ground. It's just that the Eagles have had a better conversion once they've got it inside their forward 50. And Port Adelaide just appearing a little bit blocked up in their attack.
So the ball thrown up in the slippery conditions. And the umpire picks a free kick out of it. And Bottas has the ball. He'll have to give it over to Franco. He does do that. So Josh Franco in towards the lead. Kemp pushing back. Does very well. Lockwood did a little push on out. Eventually the handball ends with Wilson on the left foot. Pushes it in on top of the square. danger for the defence of the Eagles. McIntosh just keeps the ball alive, pushing it out in front. Assisted by Simmons now. McKenna comes in to join the fray. Strong at the ball. Simmons eventually sees it over the line and out. Well, Simmons, 50 games a few weeks ago, so now gathering experience. Jack Cale, Port Adelaide coach. From the throw-in, McKenna once again turns it back. From behind, Heady, the big jump. Ball spills into the defensive 50. Jakovic, quick kick on out, only as far as Bond. Eagleton rolls it back in. It's tight and hard in the forward pocket here. Franco again, Jakovic barges in. No free kick in the back, the ball up again.
Eagles by 11 points. Throw up. Down towards the pocket for Power. Morrison at the second attempt grabs it. Puts it out of bounds on the full. Heaver to take the kick. I venture to say too far out to score. Doesn't bother thinking about that. Centres in Cummings' direction. Kemp waiting behind. He's been in most of it so far. Cummings put his body in well and ties it up for Port Power. So a throw up about 35 metres out from the attacking goal. Dean Kemp so far, 5 possessions. Lade hooks it down. Lade helps it on its way. Gathered by Heaver. He's a sharpshooter. Good effort on the turn, just wide of the mark. And behind, talking about Dean Kemp. Solid season so far. 26 possessions last week against Adelaide. 26 the previous week. And the season's high at 28 against St Kilda back in round 11. And the umpire was still waving the flag, so the ball has to come back. There's Dean Kemp. Probably has his own page in Grey's Anatomy. He plays every week. They nurse him through. The ball bounces out of bounds. Wasn't touched. Free kick to the Power. Eagleton's got it. Gives it up. Franco will take it. Josh Franco with Cummings up ahead and the rain falling. Slips as he kicks. Puts it to the heart of the 50. Kemp again. Playing very well. Swings it out wide. In front, Stone. Stone on the wing. Gehrig wants it. Goes in that direction. Up he goes. Fisted away. James camped in front. Slung. Gets the kick away. Heaver. He's been busy. Hacks it out of midair. Stopped by Jakovic. He's told to play on. Didn't go the distance, says the umpire. Gehrig on the wing. Takes the mark in front of Daniels. Short one. Schofield, seeing a bit of the ball, Schofield, through the wing, looks for Sumich, Heady again. Now Heady is really causing concern down there, I'd suggest. He's showing he's got the appetite for it.
Schofield did well just to run his distance. There weren't too many options for him. Eventually just went long. I'm not sure he was kicking it to Brett Heady. I think it may well have been heading towards Sumich, but Heady turned around and it was just straight into the bread basket.
Heady short, Schofield. One or two of the Port Power players looking a little despondent. Took a long time, that kick, and Schofield found himself about 15 metres in the clear after all of it.
Do we still call it the bread basket, Dennis?
Yeah.
Pulled that one from about 20 years ago.
Where did you pull it from?
I think it was on an old chewing gum card.
Here's Schofield. We do what we like here, Jared. Just the three of us in the box, watching Schofield kick another goal.
After a very good start by Port Adelaide, who had control of the football for the first 4 or 5 minutes, it's been all the West Coast Eagles. But I wouldn't despair if you were a Port Adelaide fan, because they are still winning the ball in the middle of the ground, but they've got to come up with a better option up forward. Just not working for them at the moment.
Well, this is a significant change to the Eagles. At quarter time, they've trailed 9 times out of the last 10 games. But they've certainly come out firing here now. leading by 16 points. Minutes to play. Eagleton on the outer side, steps around on the left foot. Picked up here, curled it around. Cummings, that's sensational. Scott Cummings takes the mark and nonchalantly steps around onto the left foot.
I think it may well have been touched in mid-flight. We'll have a look at that shortly. But it was the first time they've gone forward and had a fair shot on goal. They've all been rushed. They've all been there. It was just knocked off through the flight of the ball. But as you said, very nonchalant on the left foot. It's the first time that Cummings has got clear from McIntosh for this game.
Well, McIntosh had peeled off to go up to put pressure on the man with the ball. The deflection helped Cummings because there was no doubt, I think, Eagleton was going to go to the middle. Loose ball wide of the pack. Franco's got it. Back towards half forward it goes. McKenna gives a little nudge. McIntosh knocked it towards him. This is Lockwood, the youngster. Sharp angle off the fist of Djakovic and across the line. 2.5 minutes till quarter time. 2-6-4-3. As we said, Port have the breeze. It's probably worth a couple. Well, in these conditions, always hard to gauge. Here's McKenna in trouble, slips it away. Djakovic lures a man, gets Simmons now. Simmons finds Banfield in space. Banfield drives it up towards half forward. Bond is there, crashing in Primus. Bursting through is Daniels. The hand pass a little ineffective. Lyle scrambles it on. Wilson tries to go again. In the road is Wood, high up and under. James underneath it. Kept his composure pretty well. Now, free kick is going to Stone against Wanganeen, is it? Well, James was the man under the ball. Stone was bearing down on him. And Wanganeen decided to push him out of the way, thinking of his mate. Waterman. Waterman on the wing. 4-3-2-6. Eagles in front. Stone again. Sumich offers a lead. Now he retreats. Kick comes out wide. Gardiner just on the ground. Number 1 draft pick. 1 game so far in his career. Played well to a night game against the Hawks. Hasn't played since. Evans, brilliantly done. All about balance there. Pulls it back, Turnbull. Well, there's nothing better than keeping your feet in the contest, and Evans did that. Had reason to tumble, did not, and found Turnbull.
And I think that John Carla would be very upset with that attempted spoil. That ball should have gone over the boundary line from Fabian Francis, but good performance to keep the feet there and bring the ball back into Turnbull.
Ryan Turnbull in from 25 metres out. Uses all the goal, but it's good enough.
So not a great day for the big men, but Ryan Turnbull has shown that he's getting in the right position. Have a look at that punch there. That ball had to go over the boundary line. Should have been the right hand for the punch. But Tony Evans, as we know, is a very talented player. As soon as he had the football in his hand, he was thinking top of the square, get the ball into the percentage area, and that's where he found Ryan Turnbull.
So merely seconds to play. Gardiner, the young ruckman, in amongst it. Free kick holding. By Vince Cercia in control there. Cluttered half forward line for the Power. Wilson goes long. McKenna judging the ball. Now it's spoilt forward. Turnbull has moved well down the ground to give numbers, and the ball forced quite a distance over the line and out of bounds.
The Eagles' backline has been fantastic in this opening term. The pressure has been on the midfield for the Power. Have got the ball down there plenty of times, but they just haven't allowed it to get through too often.
So Morrison does the ruck work and eventually wins out. Wanganeen, the little give. Which way does it go? A flick up against Gavin Wanganeen. Banfield, the left foot towards half forward. Heady's going to do the roving. Gehrig gets forced forward. Simmons steps around, finds that little bit of space on the left foot, kicks in towards Sumich, but Primus dropping back takes the mark at half back. Short kick into lay. Lyle completes the quarter there. West Coast 5-3-33, Port Adelaide 2-6-18.
The boys are down on the boundary, but play about to get underway. Second term.
Dennis, just a quick one. Eagles very happy with Brett Heady. They're happy with that matchup on Shane Bond. In fact, that was the one they wanted in from the Port boys.
Just predictable wet weather football. Go long, keep it in control of the corridor. But why are we here, Barrett?
Mr. Port Power, Matty Campbell. A decade ago, who would have thought that? Rombonis falling to the ground, gets it away. Off the deck by Banfield. All Port. Wanganeen's got it. Slips the hand pass away. Lyle needs to get busy. Kicks inside the 50, and that's a pretty soft one. Relayed free. Probably half a step late, Braun, but not much to it.
No, in comparison to what we've seen this afternoon, I think that was probably the easiest free kick that we've seen. It may well have been that Scott Cummings was going to mark the ball anyhow, but nevertheless, he gets a nice free shot here.
So Cummings, 43 goals on the season now. He's got one already this afternoon. That's his best season's total. Got 38 for the Bombers last year. Got them for WA from about here. And this kick looks pretty good as well. Great effort.
Scott Cummings' second goal brings the Power back to within 9 points. Franco works in front of it, kick long off the ground. The Eagles, the defence here, Huskus gathers the ball in the left hand. Little cute kick out towards the line, doesn't get there. He follows back up once again. Handball's on forward again, but this time it does go over the line and out of bounds. Huskus every game this year. The West Coast bench, Ilya Gehrig, biggest man on the ground, not on the ground at the moment. Turnbull slaps round the back, eventually towards Kemp. Little dancing step work. Evans, left foot. Stone, a searching handball, going out wider still. Kemp continues to work within it. Banfield now, handballs back in ball. Evans on the left foot. Floats away towards the left. Floats too far out of bounds on the full.
They certainly want to use the handball, the Eagles players. Under these conditions, they're making it hard for themselves, but their ball handling skills have been pretty good to date.
So Paxman deliberately outside 50, looking for Primus. The jump from behind, he gathers the bouncing ball, but immediately caught in the Turnbull tackle. Primus starting to run back into some form. Port Power bench. Shane Brewer, the furthest, one of the most experienced players on the Power list. The ball's thrown up again. Primus does the body work against young Michael Gardiner. And again, the kick trundles along and eventually over the line and out of bounds.
There's Gardiner. As I said, made his debut against the Hawks in round 4. 13 possessions, including 5 marks and a goal. Beaten that time by Primus. No disgrace in that. Banfield crossed the line in front of Wanganeen. So it'll be thrown in. 5-3, 3-6. West Coast in front. They're running on the breeze in this term. Gardiner did better that time. Evans taken down. Heady getting a lot of the ball. Floats it inside the 50. Turnbull gave a contest. Mead tried to knock it across towards the boundary. Bond. Great assistance from Mead. Put Heady in the front row. Ball comes up towards the wing. And a push in the back or over the shoulder. That was an early whistle. Obviously there before the ball arrived. Eagleton to take the free.
Well, it was a great half volley, great control of the ball, and the tackle did come over the top slightly, but once again it looked pretty soft.
The ball was there first, but marginal. Heaver tries to knock at Goldwood. Wood taking a tumble, played it pretty well, found the ball. Across the line it goes. So a boundary throw-in. And the Power looking better. We made the point starting the game that one of the problems Port have had on the road this season has been a bad start. Generally, they've come back strongly in their games. Well done by Lockwood, but it was sharked by Braun. Fed it back. Interesting kick. They stump the ground. He comes again. Gardiner, that's better. Turnbull inside the 50. Sumich leading back. Gehrig Unkind bounce. He was headed goalward. Now he's deep in the pocket. Where's he gone with that? Behind. Thought about going to the middle. May have been his intention, but it slid off the side of the boot in any case.
I think at the end, Dennis, he went with the left foot check side.
You're being nice to him there, Dennis.
Which, if it had have come off, it would have been a great goal.
I was looking in the middle.
So Paxman brings the ball back in. Fabian Francis. Outside 50. Mark not completed by Wilson. Mead at ground level. Takes him on with a bit of a run under the pressure of the handball. Not quite effective. Franco stepping around on the left foot. Heaver. Ball met now by Kemp. Heaver comes a second time. Kemp comes second and third and fourth and eventually wraps it up.
Been a good player for Port Adelaide. Brent Heaver had 10 kicks in the first quarter, and there you saw just a great second effort. I thought Kemp with his silky skills was away, but a good lunge for a second effort by Heaver.
Two young ruckmen go at it. Kemp clears it on the left foot. Crowd calling for a free kick to Stone, but that's not the case. Heady steps out on the right foot, tosses a high one up into the air. Primus is back, takes the mark. Controlling across half-back at the moment is Primus. Pushes on out wide towards Bond. Can't complete the mark under pressure. Free kick. Bond standing his ground in the contest. West Coast 34, Port Adelaide 24. Bond to the outer wing. Braun, very good work in front. Norwich Rising Star nominee in round 14 last week. After a very good job on Mark Bickley.
He's doing well keeping Braden Lyle to just 4 kicks to this point in the game.
So Gardiner, the roundhouse, missed the ball in actual fact. Schofield for the Eagles. Lyle for the Power. And umpire Scott McLaren for that fraternity. Throws the ball up, big Gardiner, high in the air. James, the little kick along the ground. Buys his side perhaps 30 metres and another boundary throw in right at half forward. Adrian Barrich, how are you travelling down there, son?
Yes, we're staying afloat, Matty and I, but very interesting game at the ground level, very tough, but we're astounded that Shane Bond is still playing on Brett Heady. That is the matchup that the Eagles have hoped for and prayed for, and it seems to be working against Port, but they're not changing it.
Gardiner brilliantly got it down to Kemp, who proceeds to give it away, going for distance on the breeze. The other number 2 on the end of it, though, Primus, short one. This is Daniels. Cross half back. Side down by 10 points. Back to Primus. Whoops. Primus has got a problem now. Gets away from Gehrig, though. Well played. Picks it up towards half forward. It's very dull at Subiaco Oval at the present time. Coming out of there was Gardiner. Goes back to Waterman. He lost it. He's been quiet. What a bullocking gun down there. Blurton comes away with dash. Well done. Touches it down the once. Goes up to the wing. Looping hand pass over the top. This is Fraser Gehrig. Feeds it back inside. Fumble from Gardiner. Down goes Gehrig. The umpire wants it. So Gerard making the point before about overdoing the hand passes, and to a big man on a day like today, the percentages are low. It's pouring.
And great work there by Roger James to really chase down from behind and put some pressure on the Eagles going forward.
Lyle under pressure. It ricochets towards the middle. Franco, unkind bounce, taken out of it. Simmons gets it across to Stone. Stone turns and delivers. It floats inside the 50. Waiting down in front, Bond. Nicely played by Bond. He can run on his knees. Gets it to Primus. Primus to the outer side. Chance for the Power now. James is away. Plenty of space up ahead. Brilliantly read by Morrison. Got across in front of Lockwood. Knocked the ball to his own advantage. Runs on. Short passes to Gehrig. Inspirational stuff. He comes again. Throws it on the boot. Well done by the young Victorian. Inside the 50. Waiting behind is Heady. He's slung. It bounces. It missed. Not by much.
Well, it was a fantastic interception by Chad Morrison. In fact, it was a wasted opportunity by Port Adelaide. They were away there, and that kick should have been more precise. They had loose men, but it finally didn't cost them the goal that it perhaps should have.
Eagleton retrieves that kick in at half-back, wheels onto his left, now kicks it out to the path of Wilson. He under pressure, the handball now spills out towards Wanganeen, misses the kick off the ground. Banfield, Rombotis, Schofield off the ground, Blurton runs into Bourne, Franco out in the path of Wanganeen again, just searching the ball forward, looking for space. Heaver runs onto it. McIntosh hard through the contest. The Eagles have the numbers. Handball spun out wide. Morrison held. Morrison dives. Morrison gets the free. Wastes no time to Kemp. Out wide towards Gehrig. Spoil from Daniels is good. Bourne's there. James. And the ball over the line and out. Blurton coming off. Guy McKenna back on. And Monday night, Dennis Pagan, the North Melbourne coach, joins Talking Football. Gardiner down to Kemp. Once again, another disposal to Dean Kemp. The ball, not a good kick. Morrison just under that little bit of pressure now. Have a guess at Daniels for that one, Dennis. Yeah, Daniels. I think you're right. Up towards half forward. Port having a good spell here. This is James from 35. Misses. They started well for the first 5 or 6 minutes. Didn't put it on the scoreboard, and again now they need to. They're getting a lot of it.
They have got the running power, and there's one thing you know about Port Adelaide: they will continue to work hard through the middle. The challenge will be for the West Coast Eagles players to run with them.
Well, Schofield very lucky there because the umpire called it on, and Schofield got a free for too high. Franco crashed into it. Schofield and Franco fight their little war. Kick through centre. Gehrig on the chest. I suppose if you're a student of history, you'd back Franco. The ball comes across to Kemp. He got it from Gehrig. Off hands, it runs loose behind. Here's a chance for Heady again. Deep in the pocket, he likes these. Pulled it back. He's overcooked it. Out of bounds on the full in the opposite pocket. Port with the free. Francis comes away. Precise. On a rope along the boundary there. James to the wing. Fisted forward. That's the disciplined thing to do. Running onto it, Braun. Lobs it back inside the 50. Eustace is there. Daniels is there. And Port get it across the line.
Donald Dickey, one of the stars for Port Adelaide in the first month of this season, is on the field. I think Adrian Barrage and Matty Campbell are pretty well right with Brett Heady. It's only a matter of time, it seems, before he gets a couple of goals. He's had plenty of opportunities.
Potentially another opportunity here. The ball spills free for him. He settles, he picks it up. He's missed. It's unforgiving that he can lurk at the back of a throw-in like that with so much freedom. Matthew?
Yeah, well, they've brought Dickey on and taken late off Port Adelaide, and it's forced the West Coast Eagles to completely reshuffle their back line with Jakovic and also Morrison now going back onto Dickey. So a different matchup for the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Paxman brings the ball back in again. Very good kick to the running Wanganeen. Hard up against the boundary line now. His kick floats over the top of Rombotis. Eagleton, the aggressor for the Power. McKenna.
It's not a strength for the West Coast Eagles defending the kick-in, is it?
Well, they got that one away very easily, and often they go on man-to-man, which is a pretty low percentage way of defending kick-ins these days.
So Gardiner and Lockwood do the throwing work. Comes back again to the young ruckman who's kick off the ground. Fed on out by Dickey. He comes back again with a strong tackle on Wooden. But Schofield has the power now. Surging through. Kicks long in towards centre forward for the Eagles. Gehrig again. Front position. Bustled out. Turnbull leaves it for Heady. He's taken high. Let Heady come out for his 10th kick. Added to that is 4 handballs.
He probably had 7 shots at goal, and what's he got? 1 goal.
Gives it off to Braun.
No one with him again.
Sumich has given 1 lead. Kemp. It's gained about 30 metres now. They've picked one off. They've got Fraser Gehrig inside 50. Really, this quarter, Gehrig has been the difference at half forward. pushing up the ground, presenting targets.
Dean Kemp's been a great player for the Eagles, 14 possessions to date. And I just wonder whether it wouldn't be worth moving Braden Lyle onto him. He's being tagged out of the game, and maybe that would drag him back in. Kemp's getting plenty of the football, and it'll be a fair job to stop him with Lyle.
So Fraser Gehrig on the left foot, drifts across to the right-hand side and just the one behind. West Coast now lead by the 2 goals. Batsman again looking for the same kick-off option. Has got it. This time it's a different player. Wilson couldn't manage it, but has sufficient time to get up. Deliver the kick now with the left foot towards the wing. Morrison's a fly from behind. Roving is done by Franco, and the ball's over again.
And once again, Terry and Dennis, you see the Eagles utilising a man-to-man tactic on the kick-ins. I think most players would confirm that that is the easiest one to get a free kick away from.
Tossed in. Gardiner won it down in front. Banfield under pressure. Rombotis, was he pushed in the back? No. Across the line. John Rombotis, last season with Fitzroy. In for Adam Kingsley, who was carving a niche for himself in defence for the Power. Out for the season. Lyle dives on top of it. 3 Eagles on top of him. And the ball up. 5-7 plays 3-7. West Coast lead. Primus and Gardiner. Gardiner got behind the umpire, inexperienced there, and gave away the free. Not the place to start your run. The umpire backing towards you. Gardiner evading him, but going over the shoulder of Primus. Big leap from Eagleton from behind. Franco had it, then lost it. Banfield kept his head. Morrison. Gardiner nicely done. The fumble out from Schofield. One too many. Sliding in there, Franco. Didn't have the ball.
Once again, another example of just too many handballs in succession. That Chad Morrison was running straight. He could have kicked the ball. Had his eyes up.
Josh Franco towards half forward. The judgment. McKenna to Waterman. Waterman towards half forward. Turnbull in front. No chance there. Mead knocked it away. Primus. Great evasion by the big man. There's some subtlety in his game. He kicks it down towards half forward. That wasn't too subtle. He was under pressure from Turnbull and put it out on the full. Sometimes watching Matthew Primus, you get the feeling there's a rover in there trying to get out. It goes short. This is Simmons. Simmons up towards the wing. Just under 7 minutes till half-time. Play on's the call. Good pressure on the mark from Wilson. Affected the kick slightly. Heady thought it was running on. Still over the ball. Slaps it to his marker, though. Bond kicks up towards the wing. Both sides now really trying hard. The next goal pretty important. Wide in the pack, Wilson. Wilson hit it hard. Socket off the deck by Brewer on the ground now. It runs down towards the 50. Brewer and Jakovic. They both fell over. Picked up there by Morrison to Jakovic. Nimble as you like. He choreographed his way out of that one. Got it away to Morrison, and Morrison bounces it out of bounds on the wing.
Glenn Jakovic. 96 consecutive games up until the knee injury late in the middle of last year. Now playing his 10th game back. Really had all the evasion skills there.
Just a part of dirt.
Primus working for the front position against young Gardiner. His hit out is taken by Schofield. In towards the space at half forward. Bond dropping back takes the mark. Looks at the left and right. Then gives it off to the behind to Huskis. His kick towards the wing. Doesn't reach Dickey. Simmons on out to Waterman, running on the left foot. He now has the space out wide. Stone takes it. Looking to move it on quickly. Sumich is the target. Is he going to make it? Yes!
Well, it's a bit of an away swing of this one from Mick Stone, and it just got through the hands of Mead and found its target, Peter Sumich. It was a great conversion to get it to him. Fairly dangerous up. Had it been turned over, it would have been whisked away, but now they get the shot on goal. A tough one. the way Peter Sumich approached his first couple, you just about back him home.
So only one goal in the second quarter to date to Scott Cummings. So the Eagles are through Sumich, looking to balance the ledger, but there's the big hook. Watson has the putting yips. As Peter Sumich have the goal-kicking yips back. You would hope not. Francis to bring the ball back in for the Power. Kicks along to half-back. Primus is the target, as he has been for the most of the afternoon. Franco working at ground level, feeds on out towards Lyle. He brushes out of the tackle. The high kick right towards the centre of the ground, pushing and shoving. Too much pushing, too much shoving. Free kick to the Power. Heaver should look to get the ball moving, because there's a hugely open Port Power forward line. They're just holding it up a little too much here in the centre of the ground. Dickey into a little bit of trouble. Now out, now into the space. Cummings and McIntosh. Cummings front. McIntosh, great spoil. Free kick.
Had to be. Twice.
That's all they had to do. They had to just get the ball over that wall of players across the half-back line, half-forward line, because there was a 50-metre clearance between McIntosh, Cummings and the rest of the players. So Dickey took on the challenge. Eventually he was looking for a handball, I think, but eventually did it all himself. And I think you're right, Dennis. Umpire left without any other question, and that was to just play that one. Any other option, I should say. We're a punter coming onto the ground.
So Scott Cummings, ball just moments ago down at the other end of the ground with Peter Sumich, the chance to equal Cummings' first goal in this quarter. Now it's swept forward. Cummings going for his third. And the crowd would suggest here that he has missed to the left-hand side. McIntosh. Inboard, Waterman, momentary lapse in concentration, but came back at it again to Kemp. He has some room and time to settle. One touch, kicks on again. Jakovic floating down the ground. This time, ball taken away by James, the left foot. Lockwood misses what he should have taken. Adrian.
Yeah, the ball came down in front of our position just a couple of minutes ago, and it's like a slippery brick is the only way I could describe it, me and Matty saw it. It's very hard to kick and very heavy at the moment, the ball.
So boundary throw in, just under 3.5 minutes to the break. Gardiner from behind Lockwood. Franco, who's been very good, over the ball, taken high. He's getting the free kick. Josh Franco, 11th possession, down towards half forward. McKenna held his ground brilliantly, a bit stiff there. It came back to Eagleton, pushed off the kick, slides across Subiaco Oval. McIntosh, great speed, gathers, just missed the line. No need for the Cyclops. He missed by less than a metre though. The kick will be taken back into the forward line by Fabian Francis. Just forward of the interchange gates. Probing kick in from the side. Surely a free kick down there to McKenna, taken over the shoulder. Not sure the mark was paid. But Guy McKenna's got the footy. McKenna, short. Missed by Waterman. He's still a bit rusty. And across the line. So boundary throw in, right half forward. Chris Waterman playing only his third game of the season. He played the first one against the Swans and came back last week. Tossed in. Knocked down in front by Lockwood. Going to the ground, Wilson. Simmons had it a while. Jakovic has got the run of it now. Tries to strong arm his way out. Great poise. Heard the voice. Got it to Morrison. Morrison bounces the ball out towards Stone. Stone releases Banfield on his wrong side. Back it comes to Stone to Banfield. Trips the light fantastic around the boundary. Pushed as he kicked. Good chase out there. And as a result, it's a free kick going to Port Power. Out of bounds on the full. Banfield pleads his case, I think with some justification. But Port have got the footy just over 2 minutes to half. So
James to bring the ball back for the Power. Kick falling short of the 50-metre. Djakovic flies. Here's the chance here now for the Power. Slung in the tackle there was Wilson. Djakovic again. This way, that way. The big sweeping handball falls to Kemp. He flicks it up into the air. Doesn't clear the area. Comes back again. Holds the ball. Gives it into Eagleton. Wants to bear hug him. Wants to deck him. Umpire Gavin calling for the ball.
Well, we've got a great game of footy here, and both midfields are absolutely hard at it. You've just got to admire the courage of these young Port Adelaide players that nobody knew who they were until this season, and they are so terrier-like.
They again have the opportunity. Inside 50, Donald Dickey on the left foot. Bounces one. Bounces to the wrong side of the goalpost.
Michael Braun still doing a very good job on Braden Lyle. Lyle just 6 kicks to this point in time, and with Kemp doing so well, I just think that maybe coming up after half-time, Eagleton getting a couple of possessions on Kemp, but maybe just match up the 2 experienced players.
McIntosh going for distance. Well, he got height. He comes outside the 50. Brewer got it down to Franco. Running across the ground. He pulls it back now. Cummings at the second attempt almost. McIntosh did well. Here's Wanganeen. Open goal. Goes across the goal line and kicks it.
So the skipper gets the second goal of the quarter for Port Adelaide, giving them now the opportunity. They are 4 points behind. With under a minute of play left in the first half, they surge towards half forward. The Eagles defence defending here for the final seconds towards the line. Braden Lyle under immense pressure there, and the ball over the line and out.
You can always tell a midfielder they're more keen to get a kick than go to the safety of the boundary line. As we see the West Coast Eagles, their last goal was in the first quarter, late, but yet to kick one in this term.
So Lockwood looks to flick it over the back. Power sweep the ball back towards Lyle again. His kick inside 50. Too big for Wilson. Cummings comes. McIntosh comes. He straightens up on his left. Tosses the kick. Not good enough there for Simmons. Overruns the opportunity. Huskis dives in for the Power. Brewer on the ground for his first run. Flicks it on out. Stepping through James. Lopes a handball in towards 50. Wheeling around. Wilson on the left foot. To the square. There's no one there. Wanganeen up he gets. There he goes. 2 in a row.
Hope he's okay. About this, 5 seconds to go. Wanganeen, 2 inspirational goals, and Port Adelaide have grabbed the lead.
And they just keep winning the ball back across the half-forward line in the midfield. They've just kept peppering their forward line, and finally a couple of openings have appeared. Wanganeen with 2 late goals has really changed the face of this game.
Thrown up. Rucks go at it. Siren just moments away. Franco. There's the siren. Port Power comes storming back into this game. John Cale must be delighted. Gavin Wanganeen, well, what an example he's set. He is smoking at the moment. Fantastic stuff. Port Power will not be denied. And an interesting stat on the West Coast Eagles this season. They've not won a game when they've trailed at half-time. They're 0 for 6. So who knows? Port may have grabbed the lead just at the right time. 5-9 to 5-7. Haven't you been spoiled on footy's home ground today? Great game at the SCG, and we're buttering up with another beauty here at Subiaco. The margin at halftime is 2 points. Port Power on top.
That's how I like my footy to be. Well, that's the thing about. That's what I like about.
Lost it. Grabbed in there by Lyle, who boots it down towards half forward. McKenna, 10 metres in the clear, grabs it and chips it out wide. At full stretch, Morrison, no. And across the boundary line to be thrown in.
And Chad Morrison was one of the Eagles' best players in that first half. He is a runner, and his legs will certainly be required to go for another half because, as Matty Campbell just said, the Port Adelaide side have got plenty of runners to rotate.
Pressure on the Eagles. get respite here with the first free kick from the boundary throw-in. 6 times they've trailed at half-time this year and have not won one of those games. So this is foreign territory for the Eagles. They now push into half-forward. Turnbull couldn't complete it. Gehrig with a quick kick out of the pack. Runs into space. Port Power leading the race. Paxman in the front position. Assistance there from Eustace. Support from Eustace now. Stephen Paxman leading the defence. Second most experienced player in the Power lineup. Wanganeen, the most experienced, playing his 141st game.
Oh, Nick.
Front position of Primus allowed to go since the umpire Braun couldn't complete it. Gehrig handballs over the dangerous Heady. His high kick floats into the forward line. Gehrig couldn't complete it. Simmons now leads the race with the opportunity. Ball being forced out 50. Paxman pressuring, just holding over the ball. Now it spills on back out. Gehrig off the ground, inside the 30-metre arc. Franco for the Power drives on back out towards half-back. Lyle and Kemp compete. Braun dashes out the back. Handball not effective. Power continue just to continue at the ball at all times. Working now to half-forward. Sweeping handball on out wide. Wooden leads the race. They won't give up. Heaver this time, again pushing out towards Wanganeen. His quick kick across the body, McKenna. Plays on to Kemp. Looking to switch the play towards the near side. Some run from half-back. A couple of touches, then actually loses possession. Kicked it out of his own hand. The Eagles under immense pressure from this young Port Power side. Schofield from the wing position. Long to half-forward. Rear Punda caught behind. Francis in front. Steps away on the right foot. Needs to get it past Stone. Does do that. This gives Eagleton the opportunity. The pressure from Stone was excellent. Great chase, great tackle, held up Eagleton at half-back.
Yeah, a couple of great tackles there by both sides. And we see here, out of position was Stone. It was a pretty good kick going the Port Power's way, but just wasn't able to get his kick away because of Stone's great pressure.
McKenna sees the ball over the line again. Asking the question, Adrian, you were close enough to that one.
McKenna there as the acting captain had a red-hot go at the umpire about that decision and just keeping on their backs.
Jakovic in the front position. Schofield steps towards the left, comes back then to the right. And Waterman, terrible kick there. Out of bounds on the full. Returned last week from a long spell. Kick in from the Power in towards Cummings, the front position. Tries to gather the bouncing ball. Banfield breaking through half-back, can't get through, can't get McKenna. Eventually the left kick in towards the centre of the ground. Dickey going back with the flight of it. Fed back again. Lyle, there's space on the outer side to the Power. Great kick, finds Wilson.
Wilson, right half forward. Goes for distance. Lobs it down towards full forward. McIntosh touched it just as well. Telling kick.
They mean business, the Power. They've come out after half-time, all revved up. They've had control for the last 3 or 4 minutes. They haven't converted, which gives the Eagles a chance.
Close to the boundary line. Banfield did well. Comes away. Strong Shepherd. Heady. Still Bond is with him. Relayed free kick, is it? I think it is. So Heady on the wing, down towards half forward. Gehrig. Off hands, the man in front was Mead. Loose ball. Daniels could have been taken high. And that's the decision.
Yeah, pretty sloppy free kick that one, but Drew Banfield having a good start to this half. He was a good player in the first half. Just let Wanganeen get away from him for 5 minutes, but has been one of their more solid contributors.
Daniels towards the outer side. Jakovic grabs it, throws it on the boot. Gehrig decides to run away, pulls it back. Sumich meters in the clear, has to wait. He's got it. About 30 meters out, 45-degree angle. He wants 50. Well, to get back on his mark and be quick about it.
Well, so it was a quick turnover on the outer wing, and Gehrig came up with the football. Sumich saw that he had lots of space in front of him, ran towards the goal, and he Port Adelaide players were pretty keen to get up the ground to get on a part of the action, but well, there's a bad side, but they just gave Sumich just too much latitude.
Djakovic limping at one end. Sumich kicking for goal at the other. He's missed to the near side. Behind.
Big Glenn Djakovic limps away, and here's the actual incident. And the tackle buckling down underneath. So the pressure continues to mount on the Eagles. Port Power looking to apply it now through half forward. McKenna couldn't complete the mark. Schofield comes away with the ball. Kicks in towards half forward. Floats over the top of Stone. Paxman, his kick trapped now by Stone. Kicks very well to the top of the square. Heady contesting there with Bond. Comes back Heady. Dickey's the tackle. Simmons stands upright. Now spins. Now he goes to ground in the tackle. That's dropping the ball. Yes, it is.
Gee, she's red hot down there, Wheels. Dickey dropped what he should have taken, put lots of pressure. I thought Brett Heady was going to come up with a goal. Simmons thought he was going to get the goal, but it was just fanatical tackling that brought him down.
So Dickey with the free kick on out to Daniels. He kicks long towards the wing, pushing and shoving. Wow, great mark in the bodywork there against Braun. Leading disposal winner for the season for the Power. Perfect kick into the lead from Eagleton. Left footer should wheel around, does that immediately. The kick not up enough. Skips through, McKenna cleaning up at the back as he always does. Kicks it well to Turnbull. He in turn looks for Gehrig. It should float to him. Yes, it does, over the top of Eustace. By Scott McLaren calling Gehrig back.
Gehrig just getting away from Daniels, dragging him up the ground a bit.
The lead from Gardiner. The kick's wide, bounces off his knees over the line and out. Adrian.
Very a huge blow to the West Coast Eagles' chances today. Glenn Djakovic has left the ground. They've done that horrible knee test on his good knee, actually, on his left knee, and it doesn't look too good. I don't know how serious it is, but at this stage, I doubt if he'll come back into the game.
Heady slung. Primus gets free from half back, puts it towards the wing. Banfield, well done. Hitting the pack hard though, Eagleton. They can sniff it now, I think, the Power. Well played, Lockwood to Wanganeen. Wanganeen slung as he kicked. It goes down towards the 50. Great balance. McKenna wins the day. Guy McKenna lacking support. Goes to Turnbull on the bounce. Turnbull swings it out wide. Braun's in front. Lost it. Took his eye off it. James to Lyle. Simmons got him. Braun slung. And he'll get a free kick. It is torrid at the present time.
Well, they've had a number of opportunities, Port Adelaide, to get forward and get a goal here, but the Eagles' defence are keeping them in this game. Been fantastic across that half-back line.
Michael Braun towards half forward. Gehrig thumped towards the boundary by Francis. Will be tossed in.
Rapunda just stepping off. Evans on. And Stuart Dew running on for his first run. So it's been a long time between drinks for the Eagles. Ryan Turnbull, the last goal scorer, late in the first. Looking to walk now towards half forward. Heady, the dangerous forward for them, stepping in and out. Now the right foot tosses it around, but it's all Port Power in defence. And Donald Dickey dropping back, looks sideward, tosses it on out. Lockwood, the spoil there by Turnbull was good. He follows on, up does the big man. Great work from a very big man at ground level, forces the ball over the line and out.
And not a lot of percentage in that kick from Donald Dickey. It was a courageous mark. He kicked it out to Bowen Lockwood, but it was a contest with Turnbull, and the ball finishes closer to goal.
Gardiner under it. Primus has been very good. Throws it on the boot. Kemp outside the 50. Dean Kemp lacking some physical support. Evans goes off the ground. Franco and it rolled between his legs. Francis is in there. Evans goes back in. Kemp on his knees. It'll be thrown up. 5-8, 5-10. Port Adelaide lead it. Primus again, body to body. Ricketts is with him. Slapped away by Primus. Heady falling to the ground, gets boot to ball, full-chested, coming to mid at Daniels, on his own defensive 50, boots it out towards the wing, takes a big bounce, gathered by Turnbull. Turnbull miscues, down goes Lyle, the bodies go in willingly. Wanganeen was in there, it came to Turnbull, his kick is marked by Paxman.
Well, it seems, Dennis, that the side that's prepared to do the unselfish running to get the extra numbers at the ball and the contest is going to win this match.
Looks that way. Huskus goes wide from behind Dickey. Brilliantly done. Wanted to go, holding the ball surely. Umpire lets them play. Grigich comes away. Short one towards Stone. Can he keep it in? That's his first problem. Now he pulls it back. It's a high kick. Heady in from the side. Primus. Big fist from Huskus. Knocked it down in front. Gathered there by Dickey. Across the ground he comes. Morrison traps it. Goes by hand to Wooden. Wooden can't control it. Opportunity goes begging. It's out of bounds on the wing.
Well, this game is just a classic test of a player's skill, the ability to be able to concentrate, control the football under enormous pressure, scoreboard pressure as well. There's a lot riding on this for the season, and there is immense pressure out on the ground physically.
12 minutes of play gone in the third. 2 points the difference. The ball to be thrown in right on the wing position.
We just saw two examples. Morrison handles it cleanly, and then Wooden, under some pressure, just let the ball slip. So rather than having the ball back in the Eagles forward line, we've got a contest centre wing.
Lockwood bustled out there by Turnbull. Kemp's at the bottom of the contest. James couldn't get the kick away. Quick spin on out to Wilson. Back to James. His kick falls in the hands of Morrison.
One-touch player.
So Chad Morrison looking up to a very congested half-forward line. Gehrig has given him one lead. Now goes towards Gehrig.
Had a game, hasn't he, Matthew Primus?
Primus has been very good across the back. 5 marks. A dangerous kick. Gardiner. Michael Gardiner very quickly on towards Gehrig. Gehrig will allow it to go. It's the goal to Gardiner.
No, Matthew Primus. 44 to 40, and the joint is rocking. Primus, Kemp. Storms through, kicks it down towards half-forward. Huskus going back with the flight of it. Good gutsy mark. He's at half-back. Gehrig in need off the ball. Have a bit to do. Huskus runs away meantime. Goes across the ground. Grigich got a hand on it. Bond the fumble. Back to Franco. Franco kicking towards half-forward. Getting across Banfield. Hit the ground running. Goes short. Heady. He's right on the wing. Heady towards half-forward goes the kick. Gardiner is up in front. Uncontested. Plays on to Kemp. He's lifting. Inside the 50. Sumich. He's marked it low down. Marvellous pass. Sumich was the only man who could get to that.
Jared, I don't know about Jack Cale's tactics of taking Primus off at the 15-minute mark. There's young Lade. He came on. He didn't have the experience to get in front of the Sumich lead then, where I think perhaps Primus would have.
Well, it was the only place that Dean Kemp was going to go as soon as he got the football, but the Eagles' skill over the last 4 minutes has just been a little bit better than Port Adelaide's, and this goal, a vital one.
Huge kick, this one. Going at his third. Sumich. It's close.
That sort of game. That sort of game, right from the word go, where you've sensed that both clubs have had an opportunity to take a fair break in the game, get a bit of a lead on the scoreboard, but it hasn't been the case. And once again, the Eagles continue to go man on man, allowing the opposition to have a huddle and then get one man to break free.
They're up by 5 points. Fabian Francis got it to Mead, who did touch the ball before he went across the line. So they've got a bit of distance there. It's about 70 metres from goal.
So 3 lead changes through the game. The Eagles now back in front by the 5 points. Lade, the sweeping handball forward for the Power. Lyle and Bond combining on the outer side. With the pressure from the Eagles, it has just stepped up a couple of notches. Bond finding the pressure, couldn't get through there. Boundary throw in, right on centre wing on the outer side. The 2 young ruckmen go at it. Gardiner and Lade. Gardiner does it with the left hand, then comes back again. Schofield trying to step through the trouble, couldn't get out. Lade, and over the top handball. Franco in towards centre half forward. Underneath the ball was Brewer. Wanganeen, he steals it again. Kicks in towards the leading Cummings. Too high for him, can't complete it. Back goes Waterman. Cummings continues to work. Wants to keep the ball in, and now it's over and out.
What about the steal of the skipper, Gavin Wanganeen? Great battle between himself and Drew Banfield. It's probably 50-50 on the afternoon. But maybe he would have been better off having a shot at goal instead of pinpointing the pass. Port Adelaide needing a goal.
Brewer can't get the opportunity to half forward. Adrian, the game has tightened up.
Oh, it's a fantastic game at ground level. Just an update on Glenn Jakovic for all his fans. It doesn't look as serious as some people may have thought. He has got an ice pack on his knee, but definitely won't see him for the rest of the game.
So Turnbull from behind, the big thump towards the line. Braun barges his way through, and his left-hand handball goes on and out of bounds. So Jakovic on the bench. The rain has ceased here at Subiaco, and the wind has dropped. Throw in. Turnbull just takes it out of the contest. This way, that way. Wilson eventually out the high kick towards half forward. Eagleton does some work. Brewer off the ground, doesn't get it through. The Eagles defence being led by McKenna, now assisted by Simmons, breaks through.
Up towards the wing goes the kick. Braun's in front. Gardiner controlled it pretty well across to Kemp. Too short. Dickey close to the boundary line. Takes it across eventually. Dean Kemp, 20 possessions. Donald Dickey started on the bench today.
Kemp's now got Michael Wilson on him.
Lade won it. Here's Wilson. Runs away from Kemp. Can kick it a long way. How will it bounce? It runs on and goes through for a behind. So the margin now 4 points. Just over 6 minutes remaining until three-quarter time. Michael Wilson repairing a boot. That means Kemp is free. Doesn't go to him though. Simmons has got it. Up towards half back. He's been handy. Wide to Turnbull. Turnbull forward of half back. Schofield is on for the short one. He ignores that. Goes for distance. Terrible kick. Lockwood bounces off his body. James has got it against the flow. Sends play down towards half forward. Wanganeen full-chested. Runs to 50. Vacant goal square. He wants to bounce it through. And he will. Magic.
And so what form is the Port Adelaide skipper in? Moved into the centre last week against Hawthorn after half-time. Stir to come back in that particular match. Now has 3 goals in this one. He's inspiring his side. Huskis now from half-back to half-forward. Floats over the top. Eagleton plays the ball out in front of him. Eventually overruns it. James longing towards full forward. Cummings can't complete it. Banfield back. Franco puts the pressure on him. The Banfield kick goes wide out into space. It's a foot race. No one will get there.
And once again, Drew Banfield, whilst he hasn't kicked a goal, he's perhaps saved one there. So a point back for him in his classic battle with Gavin Wanganeen and Terry Wheeler, John Carls-Hergic.
Primus back on. Very pleased to see. Lockwood continues to do the ruck work on the forward line against Turnbull. Turnbull in again. The ball cluttered up, but out comes Wanganeen. Makes something out of nothing. Breaks away. Kicks in towards Cumming once again, but very good defence from McIntosh.
And the only way you can beat Ashley McIntosh is to allow the forward to be almost diving towards the ball when it gets there. Once there's a propping situation, he would spoil 99% of them.
Boundary throw in. McKenna and Brewer. Usual pairing. Kemp again, hurriedly. Gains about 20 metres. Crosses the line in front of Wanganeen. Wanganeen 11 possessions this afternoon. 8 kicks, 3 of them goals. There's Kemp. 2 stars. Tough, terrific game. Turnbull cleverly. Wanganeen again. Look at him go. Gavin Wanganeen across the boundary line. It'll be thrown in. Well, yesterday at Victoria Park, I was privileged to see Nathan Buckley. And again today, one of the great players, Gavin Wanganeen. Boundary throw in inside the 50. 2 points. Splitting these teams, still plenty of time. Ball down behind, Brewer on Kemp. Kemp tries to flick it out, sock it forward. Dickey's got it, pumps it back inside the 50, runs down towards full forward. McIntosh couldn't control it. Coming through is Brewer, another bouncing goal. The Power in front and moving ahead.
Well, Dean Kemp did a great job there, just knocking the ball forward for the Eagles, but he didn't have any support, and it was just pressure on the goal face. The ball came off Ashley McIntosh. He did the right thing, but they had enough players surging forward, and Shane Brewer can do that. Right spot, right time.
The last 2 goals to the Port Power give them the lead now by 8 points, and a great degree of momentum as we head towards three-quarter time. They have another opportunity. Franco at half forward. Simmons there to do the tackling for the Eagles. The umpire will bounce.
Franco's been good.
Malthouse, 192 wins as a coach. Footscray and West Coast Eagles. It'll be a big win if he gets out of this one today. McKenna to half forward. Bond dropping back. Feeds off to the run of Huskers. Ran down there by Gehrig.
It's a talent itself to keep a cool head in a hot situation, and that tackle should have been round the waist, and he would have come up with a shot at the goals.
So Mead, the recipient of the free kick, out wide now has found Primus. Holds the play up. Now kicks to half forward. Contest, and in fact no contest in the end. Waterman attacks the ball, and it's his. Steps out onto the left foot. Out wide, Gardiner. Been quite impressive in only his second game of AFL football. Kicks towards Stone. The contest there from Wilson was good. Stone flicks out. Stone throws out the back, says the umpire. Free kick to the Power.
They've got Darren Mead now on Fraser Gehrig.
Wilson wastes no time into half forward. Banfield at half back. Beats Brewer for the ball. Breaks away. Inside 60. Huskers couldn't complete the mark. Bond and Heady. Heady holds Bond. A free kick to Bond.
There's been some great battles on the half forward line. Bond and Heady's been a good battle. And as we said, Wanganeen and Banfield.
Bond gives it away straight to Evans. Costly. Under 2.5 minutes till three-quarter time. The Eagles desperate for a late goal. Evans unloads long. Primus gets back, drops the mark. Spills across to support Huskers, falling to the ground. Kicks it high towards the outer side. Loose ball off the bodies. Schofield close to the boundary line, knocks it across. Boundary throw in. Fought by 8 points. John Cale comes down. It's a long trip from the coach's box here at Subiaco Oval. You can watch the last couple of minutes at ground level. Schofield emerges with a footy inside the 50. Timely fist down there. It was well played by Paxman to knock it away. Gardiner grabs it, throws it on the boot. He's got his second. The young man. Great effort.
So Michael Gardiner, the young man celebrating a birthday next Tuesday, gets his second goal in this quarter. Port Power now lead by just the 2 points. A minute and a half to play left. Gehrig drives in towards half foot. Gehrig's going to run onto the loose ball. Left foot, settles, tosses it up high. Just enough from the Port defence running it. Gehrig there, forcing him to kick it high. Mick Malthouse not impressed with the outcome. So both coaches down now, ready to address the sides at three-quarter time. The huddle. Paxman takes his time to pick which one he wants. Decides to go long towards Mead. Can't complete the mark. Kemp does well in the body duel. Wins it. Drags it around on the left. Sumich attacks the ball. Comes around on the left. Hooks it back. Back, and home! Suns returning to the side.
Well, that was something.
Yes, this is a great goal. They should never have been given the opportunity. That all they needed was just to spot a pass from the full-back kick-off. They panicked a little bit there, Port Adelaide. They would know that with John Cole coming down that there's only a minute or so left of play, and they just needed to control the footy. But a sparkling goal there by Peter Sumich.
Kemp gets up and spikes it towards half-forward. Huskus misses the ball. Sockers it out wide now. They need to keep their composure, and across the line it goes. Inside a minute to three-quarter time. Adam Huskus. What a game it's been.
They'll do well here, Port Adelaide, to restrict the Eagles, reduce them and not allow them to score again.
Primus in front, knocks it down. Bond slung. Banfield slapped away by Franco. Primus tackled there by Kemp. That's holding it. Kemp was very canny there. Had him initially. Quick to realise the situation. Gave the man on the ground some space and got the kick. And listen to this crowd. 30,000 plus. That ball from Sumich hung in the air a long time. They were willing that one on. They will this one on too. Has it got the carry? It has. Well, Port Power in the last couple of minutes have given back so much.
Yeah, they've given back the 2 goals they pinched just before half-time. And you could almost sense that goal was going to come. There's just a minute of play remaining. And they'll do well now here to prevent another goal coming through Port Adelaide, because the momentum has swung drastically in favour of their home team.
So the Eagles will attack the ball here. Power will try and just tie it up. Franco's the first one, and he does do that. The last of the 3 goals belong to the Eagles. Malthouse has seen his side wrest the lead from being 2 points behind just minutes ago to now lead by 11. Primus, James under pressure. Stone flicks it on up high. Wanganeen searching handball, but only finds Kemp. His kick, Wanganeen flicks it back off into the path of Morrison, but that's it. What a final few minutes by the West Coast Eagles. And the crowd appreciate it.
Well, both sides had their moments in that term, but the West Coast Eagles getting up off the deck late. There's a problem for them. Glenn Jakovic down, and we're told won't be back this afternoon. Primus, that was a turning point. He played so well, but that kick across the goal face that gave Gardiner the ball and he kicked the goal certainly didn't help the Power. He knows that too, but he's been a wonderful player by the same token. Three-quarter time, West Coast 9-10, Port 7-11.
We got a party going on and it's a free-for-all. I can't quite hear the music so loud. Just drive this way until you see the...
John Cale, well, he'd be disappointed with the last few minutes there. Certainly his side has worked very hard this afternoon, and Michael Malthouse, I'm sure the opposite emotion. He was not too happy when he came down to the boundary, but I think those last few minutes that he spent down there, the happiest of the afternoon as we go down to Adrian Barrage.
No doubt about that, Dennis. And if the Huddles are any guide, we're in for a blockbuster finish here. It may be a bit different up here, but down at ground level, the breeze has actually picked up just in the last couple of minutes. Looks like the Fremantle doctor might come home to help the Eagles out. Injury news from the Eagles. Jakovic definitely has hurt his knee and will not play the rest of the game, maybe even a couple of weeks. McKenna had an injection in his left ankle, a pain-killing injection, so they're 2 best players under a cloud. Your boys?
Well, you've got to admire Jack Cale. Similar to last week when they were down against Hawthorn. Considering what happened in the last 5 minutes, he wants his players to take some risks. That's the way they play best, take some risks. And they've now got a 4-man half-forward line, all small. So we could see some running and some real exciting stuff.
May the best team win.
Start of the final term. Rucks go at it. Grigich had it, then lost it. It's loose in there. Primus at the base of that. Umpire wants it again. West Coast by 11 points. They trailed by 2 at half-time. One stage in that third quarter, Port got out by over a goal. Franco, a half chance. Kemp slides it away. Schofield, good hard running there by James, split a pair of Eagles. He was taken high and in the back, no free kick. And now a whistle.
The Eagles have got both Gardiner and Sumich deep in their forward line. Gehrig at centre-half forward. They're the only three forwards. I think they have been favoured by the rain disappearing, the Eagles, and not surprisingly, Gardiner and Sumich got their last two goals.
Dickey got it down. Braun kicks up towards the wing. Kemp coming through, did nicely. Grigich, Heady surrounded. Banfield in trouble. Wanganeen slapped it down. Bond smothered brilliantly off the boot by Heady. Comes to Banfield. High up and under. Mead directed the fist pretty well. Grigich back to Mead. Hard running by Heady. Mead kicks it up towards the wing. Brewer almost. McKenna almost. In trouble. Smothered off the boot. Dickey a half chance now. Still Dickey going to Primus. Primus wasting no time. Boots it down towards half forward. Oh, what a mark. What a mark. Gavin Wanganeen contorting himself. Running with the flight of that one. Has the ball just inside the 50.
Yes, he's been given a bit of treatment after he's taken the mark a couple of times. And a number of his players were teammates were incensed that 50 wasn't paid. We'll have another look at it, see if there was anything in it.
What do you think?
What's your decision?
Oh, I would have given him 50 because I like him. There's Wanganeen directly in front then. What a game he's played. Going at his fourth. Two just before half-time, one early in the third term. This will test him close to the man on the mark. As a result, he lifts it. He was conscious of the man on the mark there. He misjudged that one, and the ball's out of bounds in the pocket. So a boundary throw in. No change to the score.
Wanganeen quite disappointed with himself there. He did misread where the mark was. Banfield had snuck back a couple of metres, unbeknown to Wanganeen, then charged in. So the high kick ineffective for Wanganeen, but here's the chance here for the Power. Wooden under pressure by Dew. McIntosh off the ground, over the line and out of bounds. Solid defensive performance from McIntosh. Cummings just the 2 goals. He's always been there. Body on body has McIntosh. Adelaide does the ruck work from the front position. Waterman, Wanganeen off the ground with the ball already over the line and out. What an inspirational player Gavin Wanganeen is. If you look for the qualities that go to make a captain, that's the prime one. Someone who can have an impact on the game. Someone who can do something that little bit special. He has it. He does it. Turnbull in the front position this time. Flicked on back out. Being tied up in the forward pocket for the Port Power.
In almost every quarter, the Power have taken control in the first 3 or 4 minutes. That's not to say that they've kicked the first goal, but you would think that if they're going to win this game, they have to kick the first goal and reduce this lead. If it's the Eagles, I reckon they'd be just about home.
So the Power trailing by 11 points. For the 4th time, the umpire will do his job on that outer side. McKenna there limping. Adrian Barrage told us they had an injection, a painkilling injection at 3/4 time in that left ankle. So they have another go. This time Franco, left foot, drags it across. Wanganeen contorts himself, doesn't complete the mark. Schofield's back, goes this way, that way, then to the outer side again. Kicks out wide to clear the 50. Morrison up, takes the free kick for interference. Half-back flank, Chad Morrison. 18 disposals into Gehrig. Now that the rain has stopped, the big man's back on the ground. Kicks towards centre wing. Braun, Lyle does the spoiling from behind. Flicks on back out. Evans steps through to Gehrig. He couldn't complete it at ground level. Mead dives in on it. Lyle the little toe poke. Brewer off the ground again. Sets up Franco. Kicks a right to the square. Cummings and McIntosh. Cummings just bought those couple of metres in which he could run and approach the ball and lurch himself towards it.
It was up for grabs in the middle of the ground. It was like a pinball. It was reverberating off legs and off shins. Finally, it was Franco comes up with the football and just attacked the goal face. Nice little shepherd there from Scotty Cummings early, got McIntosh away.
To bring Port Power within 5 points, Scott Cummings goes for his third. He's got it.
So the Eagles by 5 points. Power with the opening goal of this final term. Primus beaten by Gehrig. High up and undergoing nowhere from Braun. Knocked into the forward line for the Power once more. Gathered by James. Sticks it across to Dickey. Penetrating kick. Laid over the top almost. Loose ball behind. Wooden gets back, lacking support. That was a good hand pass. Got it to Banfield. His not so good. McIntosh under the pump. Tackled by Lade. Play goes on deep in the pocket. It's grabbed down there by Jew. He snaps right across the face. McKenna. That's crafty. Circled the post. But in the process, the ball was out of bounds. So a boundary throw in. Alongside the behind post. The Eagles defending. Turnbull in front. McKenna from behind. Loose men on the ground is Cummings. Too much. It bounces against the opposite behind post. It'll be tossed in once more. What a game it's been. 64 to 59. West Coast up. They've only won 2 of their last 7. Over the top, Brewer. It was a big leap. Down in front, Turnbull. He's claimed immediately. The hand pass towards the boundary. The magical Wanganeen comes in off the deck by Eagleton. And behind. Port Power creep closer. 4 points the difference.
Well, the luck with the Eagles there, because Gavin Wanganeen was about to do one of his disappearing acts on his opponent again, but he just got entangled in the leg department and down he went, saving the Eagles a goal.
The Power came from 12 points behind in round 12 to beat the Western Bulldogs. Now they're trying to do it from 11 points behind at 3/4. McKenna deep in the pocket. Turnbull's the target. Can't complete the mark. Young Lade allows it to go over the line and out. Brendan Lade, one of the 19 players who have made a debut this year for Port Adelaide.
And Lade running away from this ruck throw in, leaving it to Brewer and McKenna to be the ruckman.
And those two will be asked to do it again.
We've got Primus and Gehrig 30 metres away. Perhaps they'll make an assault on it this time.
They do. The 2 big men come in. Gehrig holds the front position. Brewer jumps over the back, can't clear the area. Evans does so with a left foot kick off the ground. Through the interchange gates it goes and out of bounds. The crowd finding voice as we approach the 10-minute mark of the last quarter. Primus just shoves Gehrig out of the way. The crowd appeal for the free kick. But umpire Vince Soria right in the front position there allows it to go.
Brendan Lade coming up just to drop that 1 man behind, or he might be the 3rd man up in the ruck.
He's covering the defensive side of the contest. Primus out to Dickey, a little fumble, couple of fumbles. Gehrig for the 2nd time today off the ground, long into half forward, towards the line and over it goes.
And how important was that fumble?
Critical.
Let's go down to Adrian Barrage.
A couple of crucial moves here. Tony Evans has been moved on to Josh Franco, who's been troubling the Eagles, and Wilson's still doing a good job on Dean Kemp, as Jared Hilly asked for before.
Boundary throw in. There's certainly something special about this Port team. Primus knocks it down. Franco spinning out of trouble. Gets it across to Bond. Dickey sold into trouble. Picked up by Heady. Claimed by Brewer. It affected the kick. Punched out by Mead. Simmons now surrounded. Gave it away. Bond has it. Right half back. It eludes Heady and McKenna. It's on the wing. Banfield comes up to meet it. Wanganeen. The umpire put the whistle up. He didn't blow it. Gehrig is taken down. McKenna's got it. He's forward at the wing guy. McKenna with some poise. He kicks it high. Evans in 2 minds. Didn't commit. Coming through is Daniels. Thumping away. He'll get the free kick. Daniels up towards half back. West Coast 9-10. Port Adelaide 8-12.
Careless free kick it was, because Dean Kemp came up with the football and he had an open goal square beckoning.
Daniels a high one towards the wing. Simmons did well to knock it away. In front, Wilson. Wilson comes away. Oh, dear. He's called Dickey for the Shepherd. And that is a very hard call. That is a very hard call. I happen to be watching them. And Simmons made a meal of it. The hand may have struck him in the face, but he ran into the hand. That's a shocker on the wing. Simmons has got the ball. The Eagles will take it. Don't worry about that. Kicks inside the 50. Primus worked underneath it. He grabs it now. Surrounded Primus. Could have been holding the ball. They work it out. Paxman makes a mistake. He's popped it out of bounds on the full. He got it from Francis. Both of them under a fair degree of pressure. Paxman's more mental. And Gardiner will take the free in the left full forward pocket. He's already kicked two. Big decision back on the wing. Here's Gardiner. Liked the look of him today. Important kick. It's good. I think it's cleared the line. Central umpire confers. All clear goal.
So Michael Gardiner in his second game of AFL football, 3 goals after half-time, has given the Eagles an opportunity. Kemp now back towards half-forward. The power defence under pressure. Eustace's kick out wide. Cleaned up by Francis. Drags it across his body. Eagleton can't complete it one-handed. Braun along the ground. Simmons gathers it. The forward handball to Stone. In short, they've got Heady. An excellent kick there by Stone. Heady been the live wire right throughout the day. 16 kicks, 5 handballs.
They just had that little bit more surety in their skills, the West Coast, in the last 20 minutes of this game. First 10 minutes of the last term and the last 10 minutes of the third term. A couple of crucial errors by the Port Power boys, and looks as if they're going to pay.
Scorecard shows 1 goal, 2 against Brett Heady. He has had plenty of opportunities. Here from 45. He's got him on the roll.
Goss is a long way back here for Port Adelaide, but you'd be doing their side a disservice if you thought that they'd give the game away, because their form throughout the entirety of this 97 season suggests that they don't know what surrender means, and they'll be back from the centre bounce.
$16 points. Is it enough? Knocked down by Lade. Banfield. This is Wilson. Across the body. It floats out towards the opposite side of the ground. James. Unkind bounce. Morrison favoured by the bounce. Well played. Boots it down towards right half forward. Mead leads in the race. It's out of bounds. Darren Mead, resolute defender. Outstanding in last year's South Australian Grand Final. Essendon drafted him back in '88. With pick number 107. Tossed in. Reaching over the top, Grigich. Shoveled out of there by Lade. Taken by James around the outer side. Low down. Brewer keeps it in front. Brewer. Wrestle to the ground. Banfield with strength came through. Gathering the bouncing ball is Grigich. Or rather Gehrig. Gehrig is centering kick. Eustace is there. Sumich was held. He'll get the free. Play goes on. Kick by Stone. It missed. Sumich will get a kick. And the crowd realising that now are delighted. Certainly a kick there. Sumich grabbed high and held.
There it was from Stephen Paxman. The left hand just over the top of the shoulder and dragged him back. Good decision from the umpire. The last time Peter Sumich had a shot from this very spot, he dragged it to his right. But you think the way the Eagles are going now, that he's going to slot this one.
Conditions not made to order, but 4 goals this afternoon will be a fine return. Sumich kicks through the ball, and I think he's missed to the left. Just hung out there.
In many respects, that keeps the game alive. 3 goals is a margin that the players for Port Adelaide would consider gettable. Obviously, they're going to have to work pretty hard, and they've got an Eagles side here that have really dug deep. Don't forget that they've lost both Materas coming in. They've also lost Glenn Jakovich. There's a lot of them youngsters rising to the occasion.
So it's Simmons from outside 50. Sumich calling for it long. Now he leads. Simmons goes for him. Draws short. Sumich, the second go. The left foot towards the top of the square. Charging it down is Laid, and away he goes. Takes a bounce. The long kick. This is the break Port wanted. Bond couldn't control it there. Comes back in, lays the tackle. Has the ball spilt free. Evans under pressure. Works there with McKenna. In comes the skipper. Wanganeen can't get the ball away. His shadow Banfield comes in behind. McKenna cops one high, gets the free kick. Continually puts the body in, does Guy McKenna. And 50-metre penalty. Port Power having fought extremely hard right throughout the afternoon. Now just seemingly let some undisciplined play come into it. McKenna now being brought 50 metres closer to goal. Hasn't kicked a goal this year, Guy McKenna. If he's any sort of a backman, within 80 he'd have a shot. He's inside that distance. Eyes ever alert. Here's the lead. Pushes out wide, finds Gardiner. Not the play he should leave by himself.
Well, from what we've seen this afternoon, you just write down a goal here and now. Just kick them round the corner from tight angles.
3 goals straight this afternoon. All in the second half. On the right foot. This one slides across the face. Gehrig in the air, over his head, one behind. Gehrig didn't play Australian rules football until he was 17 years of age. Soccer was his game up until then. As a goalkeeper, agility was his strength, and he continues to show that in our game now. Port Power down to half-back, have an opportunity. It spills out into space. Morrison runs it down for the Eagles, kicks it back from whence it came, but laid in defence for Power.
Eustace dashing away. Wanganeen in the middle. Wanganeen booed by the crowd. That's not good enough. Cummings is up, fisted away by McIntosh. Still McIntosh towards the boundary, and that will do him. It'll be thrown in. 11-12 to 8-12. Port needing a goal here. James coming off. Heather back on. Heather very good early. Can he produce a goal late in this game? Matt?
Port Adelaide trying everything. They've put Bond up forward and now Heather on to try and get some goals to win it.
Tossed in. Primus pushing. Simmons, who's been very good late in this game, sends it high to the wing. Good catch by Laid. Laid down towards right half forward. Goes for distance. High one. Cummings off the ball. Coming through strongly though Morrison. He read where it was going to drop and played it well. Waterman, Evans away. Breaking towards the outer side. Tony Evans kicks towards half forward. And there's going to be a relay free kick, is there? The umpire running across to have a word to Jew. Meantime, Lurton's got it. Lurton kicks inside the 50. Sumich is there. Plenty happening. Bouncing ball, eluded Gehrig. Wilson was slung. Coming through is Simmons again, presenting, pops it out wide. Here's a chance for Stone. Stone lines up, kicks. It's home, and so are the Eagles.
We approach the time-on period of the last quarter. The West Coast with the last 3 goals. Port Power through the skipper Wanganeen into the forward lines. McIntosh reaches over the top for the spoil. Banfield tackled by Wanganeen. It's inside 50 for Power. Bond searching handball out wide. Primus, he's got one back.
great get from the middle of the ground, and Gavin Wanganeen, he's had a pretty good game, although I think that on reflection, Drew Banfield has also been pretty vital to the West Coast Eagles. Been a great battle, and there they are in picture, the two of them. Brent Hever getting the ball. This is a smart little handball under pressure. Wasn't as much pressure as Matthew Primus thought. He still converted nevertheless.
The difference is 18 points. Port needing the next goal, and quickly. Lade was up. Wanganeen. Getting him was Evans, coming in off the line of the square. Wanganeen down and hurt. Slowly getting to his feet. Oh, that was full-blooded. He is so courageous, though, Gavin Wanganeen, to his feet now. I think he just met the 8th dwarf, Woozy. He's alongside the centre circle. 12-12, 9-12. Kicks down inside the 50. Turnbull in best position. Hever waiting in front. Fell at his feet. They're going in solidly. McKenna went down. Evans digs it out. Got it to Braun. Braun under pressure. Puts it out of bounds on the full. Is there time for Port Power?
They certainly won't give up. Rombotis spent time on the interchange bench to half forward. Primus, couple of goes at it. Wouldn't allow it by the umpire. Comes back in again. Bond looking to do something special. Can't get away from Evans. Primus again. The big man's worked extremely hard all day.
He's had a great game, hasn't he, Matthew Primus? One error. It was a costly one, but he has been a fantastic player for Port Adelaide.
16 kicks, 6 marks, and a goal. The last goal for Power, which brought them back within 18 points. He continues to keep the pressure on the Eagles' defence. Another ball out of bounds on the full. Rombotis will do it all again. He must go to Primus again. Does so. Turnbull's there with him. Primus reaches, can't take it. Brewer hits the contest. Quick kick out. Wood spoils the ball on out wide. Bond again. Evans right with him. Ball bounces off their shins, over and out. Disposals to Bond. Heady has been his opponent early in the game. He's continued to work right throughout from half-back, now in the forward line. Turnbull thumps it towards Heady. He in turn to McKenna. McKenna to himself. Over it goes, out of bounds. Bond off. Franco on. Throw in a dead centre on the wing, near side. Primus and Turnbull both miss it. Brewer has another opportunity wrapped up in the tackle. So the Power need to get the ball out of this contest. Lade's the target at centre half forward. Primus doing the ruck work, takes it, kicks it along the ground. Wilson, now he goes towards Lade. Gardiner, very good. Two fine young players, but Michael Gardiner, what a display. 3 goals in the forward line and now controlling across the back.
Morrison, nothing on down the ground. Banfield comes in short, cutting back towards the middle. Now Stone presents. Tried to knock it on. Doubt the wisdom of that. In fact, missed the ball. Huskis has got it. Told to play on. Gets by Stone. He can run the 50. Have a shot. Sheltered by the stands, but that's a shocker. Out of bounds on the full when they needed a lot more. 84-66. Morrison, back pocket, little chip. McIntosh has it. Well, stricken by injuries, the Eagles have fought hard this afternoon. They've been made to fight. Port Power, marvellous. Hard to believe their first season in the AFL. Wilson misses it. Gehrig slipped in. Wilson taken round the leg. Nothing doing. Heady gets it away. Waterman on the wing with poise. Gets it to Weapunda. It's Blurton, in fact. Blurton missed it. Keeping the ball in and in front down there is Fabian Francis. Tries to knock it across. Dew is dragged down. Blurton in turn. Socket off the deck. Back towards the middle. And away comes the defence once more. Huskis towards half forward. Kemp Kemp in front. Primus runs on. Kemp to his own advantage. Is he being held? I think so. He'll get the free kick.
Good each way there. I thought Kemp had the arm out preventing the opponent getting through, but nevertheless he'd come up with a kick.
27 disposals to Dean Kemp. Transference now with Stone on the outer side. The in towards half forward. Sumich doesn't get to him. Mead plays the ball along in front of him, and Donald Dickey jumps in to assist. And a ball up at centre half, back for the Power. Peter Sumich has 3 goals this afternoon in the return match. The lead by the Eagles is that, 3 goals. Eagleton, a little bit of soccer play, trying to get the ball moving. Franco gathers it, kicks it high in the air. Brewer flicks it on out wide. Lyle feeds towards the run of Wanganeen. He settles over the ball, looking for Cummings. Got him. Scotty Cummings a long way out. He'll be kicking from right on 50.
Yes, and Wanganeen has set Scott Cummings up for a number of shots at goal today. It was a good win from the football. They seem to camp pretty nicely across the half-back line, the spare Power players. They've won the ball there plenty of times this afternoon.
3 goals won this afternoon to Scott Cummings. From 50, the Power need it. It's coming back, but not far enough. 1 behind. 84 plays 62.
So the margin 17 points. Should be enough. McIntosh to bring it in.
He's got to be careful of the long one down the middle.
Evans got free as predicted. Tony Evans can take his time. Banfield is out wide. Towards the wing, and Heady runs obligingly for him. Rombotis overran it. Heady comes back to Kemp. Kemp right on the wing, met solidly. Very high kick. It floats towards half forward. They come from all directions. Banfield pushed off it by Lade. Could have been in the back. Heady falling to the ground. Got it to Kemp cleverly around the corner. And Blurton is marked about 60 metres out. Ashley Blurton. Normally a pretty good kick. This one he tries to centre. Well short of the mark. Huskis tried to punch it away. Perhaps not the best policy. Gehrig is in there working overtime against about 4 defenders. Eagleton comes away, runs up to half-back, kicks to the wing. Franco, fisted away by Morrison. He's been steady, and across the line it goes on the wing. It'll be thrown in, 84-67.
Gavin Wanganeen was totally ignored there. The left foot long kick went to a contest. Wanganeen on his own.
Gardiner brilliantly done to Simmons. Simmons is away then. Runs to right half forward. This could be the icing on the cake. He's inside 50 normally. Good disposal. Not this time. Across the face and through for a behind.
So 18 points are the difference now. Paxman once again. Dickey's his target. Can't take the mark. Adelaide at ground level. Gathers the ball. Spins out quite well for a big man, but Braun, the tackler, was good. Dickey again. Handball floats on out wide to the run. To half forward. Primus is the target. Will it bounce favourably for him? Well trapped. Well dragged back. From 50, there's the siren. The Eagles are home.
It was the West Coast Eagles 12-13 over Port Adelaide 9-13.
Just drive this way until you see the crowd. The cars will be